Whoa. Loads of little fish. Whoa. Let's begin! Jupiter and Mars is at its core an underwater exploration game. The main aim is to clean up the ocean, which is being polluted by machines. You are in control of a dolphin called Jupiter, and another dolphin called Mars swims alongside you. To move around you use the DualShock controller, and there are 3 different types of steering you can choose from. You can have head tilt, smooth turning, or snap turning. This won't come as a surprise, but I chose to use smooth turning with the analog sticks. If you want to turn more quickly with this selected, you must push in the direction you want to turn with both of the analog sticks. It's a bit strange, but it wasn't an issue for me during my playthrough. You have a couple of powers at your disposal. You can use echolocation to highlight objects of importance in the world, and you can also send out a shockwave to move dangerous jellyfish out of the way. You can also command Mars to smash things with their head, such as rocks and weak walls. It's a very simple and basic command set, just like the enemy variety. Nearly every danger in the game must be avoided, apart from a sort of boss battle, which I obviously won't ruin here. Underwater flora must be squeezed between. Machines send out a rhythm shockwave-like attack, which requires you to hide behind rocks and slowly move forward in between their pulses. The problem here is that the environment doesn't actually visually stop parts of the shockwave that it comes in contact with. If you're behind something, you won't take damage from it, but seeing it still pass through your cover makes for some quite confusing moments. If you do get hit by one, it will instantly respawn you back at the beginning of the machine's appearance. The lack of visual impact guidance does make for some frustrating moments. When you do finally get past these though, you usually find a power generator that can be destroyed, which turns the machines off. In the more lengthy sections, with a series of machines, you do let out a sigh of relief when you destroy their source of power. If you're having trouble finding the generator, you can follow cables on the ground. And the other main enemy type is a mine. Just like the machines that pulsate, these will let out a ball of harm when you get too close to them, and if you touch them, you will return to a nearby checkpoint. These mines follow a set path, so the game certainly has sections of stealth elements. The game is split up into 5 levels, and each one actually contains a pretty large area to explore. But although the size of each one is very welcomed, the actual layout of the environments often confuse your sense of direction due to them being very maze-like. One level in particular was extremely difficult to navigate around, thanks to a lot of the areas looking pretty similar. I actually got lost quite a few times in the game, and it was a bit annoying. A sort of compass is displayed around your vision, which shows you what direction your next objective is in. But because of the previously mentioned maze-like level layouts, it can lead you in the wrong direction, and often straight into a wall. There really should have been a waypoint system to guide you better. Each level does have areas that you won't be able to access during your first time. As you progress through the game, the dolphins will gain new abilities, such as being able to dive deeper underwater, and being able to smash larger and more solid objects. This is where a lot of the game's collectibles are found, and the game certainly has a lot of them, which is great considering the game is really all about exploration. These collectibles can be found in shells, which needs to be smashed open with the help of Mars. Sometimes there's a collectible in them, and sometimes not, which does make simply seeing a shell a bit exciting, as you don't know their contents yet. Every area also contains a series of unique collectibles, which are related to the actual location that the level is set in. The stages are actually centered around real world locations, such as New York and London, and there are even recognizable attractions. It's just a real shame that picture quality wise, the visuals are pretty low quality. The game doesn't have pro support, but the issue really is that the game doesn't even look as good as other games that don't have pro support. This is mainly due to the very wide open spaces in each level. Things don't have to be too far off in the distance at all to appear blurry. It is such a shame because there is some amazing art direction in this game. Fish are bright and colourful, and some come in packs. Glowing dots appear on the ground just in front of you. Normally this would look like bad pop-in, but the glow makes it enjoyable and entices you to keep moving forwards. And the particles that trail behind the dolphins just make for wonderful viewing. These great visuals mainly only appear when the game is going for a more vibrant and joyful approach. But in the sections when the game is going for a darker tone, it actually looks pretty poor, and overall, the environments come across as unfinished. That's not to say this creepy atmosphere doesn't have its spectacular and meaningful moments though, as junk eerily drifts around in some areas and silhouettes of buildings are seen deep below. You can rise to the surface of the water to take a look around, but unfortunately, there's not a whole lot to see. Obviously you are in the middle of the ocean, so there shouldn't be too much to take a look at anyway, but the environments that are here simply haven't had that much work put into them, which is a shame for a game all about exploration. After surfacing a few times, I didn't even bother to do so again, as I knew it would only hurt my immersion more. The low sharpness of the screen quality does massively impact the game, but what does elevate it is the absolutely perfect music choices. Swimming through the actual locations becomes quite mesmerising because of the perfect selection. The main objectives you will come across in each area is either freeing sea creatures from the pollution by sending out your shockwave, or destroying one of the machine's bases by pushing a button. Freeing sea creatures feels very similar to finding and getting the game's collectibles, so it would have been nice to have had some more variety with the objectives in the game. It took me around 3 hours to beat the game, but I am missing loads of the collectibles. If you want to collect everything in the game, it will require a second playthrough, and I'd imagine it would take more than 6 hours to 100% complete. Trophy wise, it is a great list, but just like most of my reviews recently, I can't show them as they haven't appeared online yet. There is a platinum here, and to achieve it, you will basically have to collect everything in the game. It's exactly what I expected and hoped for. It's a simple platinum, although it will likely take a while, due to how large the areas are and how devious some of the collectibles placements are. This game obviously isn't for everyone. If you have followed my channel for a while now, you will know that I do love taking these more relaxed journeys every so often, and I love a bit of exploration in games, especially in VR. So Jupiter and Mars certainly appealed to me, but unfortunately it didn't quite live up to my expectations. The game is very average overall, in both its enemies and environmental design. At times, it does look stunning, and other times the locations seem rushed. Even when an area has had a lot of care put into it though, the blurry visuals greatly hurt the vision the artists are trying to express. It looks so much better when played in the non-VR mode. The game does have an important message to tell, and that's how badly we are damaging the Earth's ocean. After playing, I certainly came away with some facts that got me thinking, and you can take a look at a couple of Cause's videos in the main menu, but this message is never trying to be too intrusive to your actual experience. Sure, it's present in the game's visuals, but the message is never fully forced on you in a way that affects the flow of the game. Overall, it doesn't quite reach the quality I was expecting. I did enjoy quite a bit of it for what type of game it is, and I would play through it again, but so many things get in the way of making it an amazing experience. People who like collecting things will absolutely get the most out of this game. Just don't expect a very high quality journey throughout. I must admit, this was a tough one for me, as I really wanted to love this game ever since it was announced, and I do admire the people behind it, as they're really trying to spread a decent message that could help change the world for the better. As always, if you found this review helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more PSVR content.